and gentlemen, and welcome back to TalkTruth Series. I'm your host, Shanique Davis, and this is where we have real talk, real people live. So, once again, I welcome you all back to TalkTruth Series. I want to thank you all for your support. How however long we've been doing this. I believe it's over a year, and we are so grateful that many of you have stuck it out with us, and we feel so good. I feel good being here every Tuesday and Thursday, just so that you know, just putting it out there. So I'm gonna ask that you like and share the video, say hi, don't be shy, leave a comment so we can give you a shout out as soon as we start the roll call. And don't forget to subscribe. So if you're new here, we do videos every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. We're doing things a little different lately, so you will get the drift. I am going to start off with a brief word of prayer, and then I will tell you who tonight's guest is, or this evening's guest is. All right, let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this amazing day. God, we are grateful for your grace and for your mercy. It is you that you make all things well and you make all things possible. So we pray that Lord, you will cleanse us and that everything that we speak tonight will be done to your glory and your honor. Bless our speaker. Bless her, God, as she speaks tonight. And we pray that all your people will feel your presence and that you will be glorified. We ask you, God, for these and other mercies. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all for coming out. So, let me bring our guest on screen and I'll tell you a little bit about her and then she will tell us the rest. So, our guest for this evening is Nicole Loiten. Am I saying that correct?
Absolutely correct.
All right. She is an award winning entrepreneur. She's also an international speaker and the author of the book entitled What Am I Good At? Hmm. Nicole is also a natural scholar. She holds a Bachelor of Arts Degree in Mass Communication. She also has a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing and a Master of Science degree in leadership. She is going to tell us the rest of the story. And just so you know, her mission in all of this is to create an impact one person at a time. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me make her welcome, Mrs. Nicole Loiten. All right,
Thank you so
madam.
much, Shanique.
And thank you for being here tonight. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then I will, ask you the questions about what am I good at.
Okay, so I just want to say again, thank you so much for this opportunity, Shanique. You're doing an amazing job. It is my privilege to be here, and I hope that at least one person will be blessed after this presentation this evening. Um, I, I felt like you said it all
What am I
already,
good
but
at? After you doing all of that, what kind of question is that? What am I good at? People, you need to see this woman's bio. It is nothing ordinary, so I don't understand. Please help us to understand. What am I good at? What is that about? Where did it come from?
so I wrote this book, and this is what it looks like.
You can hold it a little closer because maybe persons can't see. All right,
It's kind of,
bright, but it's
yeah,
fine. I'll share a picture later.
yeah. So, what am I good at, Shanique, came about because one of my greatest passions, or one of my mission in life, or the thing that irks me, or makes me uncomfortable, is to see God's people operating um, lower than what they were created to be. And I just feel like God is so good that He has blessed us with so many amazing talents and abilities, and we're so gifted. And yet sometimes we fail to recognize who we really are. And so we end up living lives that are not even worthy
Mm-hmm.
um, of us being called kingdom children. Because how could we say that God is our father and God is maker of everything, and yet we are suffering? And not just financially when I say suffering, but in our mental health, in our physical health, just overall. I just believe that God gave us all the tools. And so I decided to help people to recognize how to find those things that they already possess. Because a lot of people don't recognize that they already have these things. They don't have to go and buy them, they don't have to go and search for them. You already have them, but a lot of people just don't know, how do I unearth, how do I discover the things that I am good at? And oftentimes, people can't really see the good in themselves. It takes other people to say, you're really good at that thing. And so I decided to write this book because I saw that problem and I wanted to help solve it.
And you saw that people were living mediocre lives. Were
Yes,
you one of those people by any chance? Did you ever find yourself living beyond, or, living beneath, let me say beneath your capacity, or the way God
absolutely.
wanted you to live?
Yes, I was there, and I'll share a quick story about me. So I before I migrated to the US, I was a journalist in Jamaica. I worked with the Gleaner and Power 106, and I was a journalist, and then I relocated to other Caribbean countries where I continued to work in media. I was a communication consultant with the government of Grenada. I did a couple political campaigns in different Caribbean countries. I was writing speeches for ministers of government, and I was doing a lot of great things in media and communications. And then
Mhm.
I moved to America. And when I came, Shanique, I sent out about 40 job applications, and I did not even get one response. And I became depressed. I was actually shocked because I thought I was also qualified, and I had it going, and I thought that I was just going to take this place by storm. But when I came in the middle of the recession in 2018, 2019, somewhere thereabout. And I was told that the only way you're really going to make it here is if you do nursing. As a matter of fact, my sister was a nurse and she was doing really wonderful. And although I could not stand the sight of blood and the other thing that we're not mentioning here, I'm like, well, I guess I just have to do it. And so I did it, but it wasn't my passion. And I worked in the field for a while and I made a lot of money, but I had anxiety going to work because it wasn't really my thing. And I'm thankful that I did it because it has really helped me a whole lot. It has catapulted me to where I am now. So I have used it, and the thing about me though is I've used everything in my life. I don't believe that God wastes anything. So I can still use every single thing. I could use the limes, I could use the oranges, I could use the grapes, and I could make a good drink. So I still didn't throw away that, and I'm still not saying it's a bad thing. I'm still not cursing it. It was actually a major blessing, but it was not my passion. It wasn't where I believe that God had called me to have the greatest impact. And so while I was working in the hospital as a nurse doing 12 and 16-hour shifts, I knew that there has to be more. I knew that there was more in me. I knew that God had called me to more. And that is when I started on my journey to discover, what am I really good at? And started to use that thing to change the trajectory of my life.
I love that. And I realized that that's kind of something that a lot of great influencers have in common. You start out doing one thing, and maybe it's not really something you're excited about, but then it propels you into doing something that you can create the biggest impact. This is where you're touching lives that you never imagined you could touch. You're changing people's minds, you're inspiring them to do things, because I am sure that before you are Nicole today, back then Nicole maybe couldn't imagine herself doing some of these things. So people are now seeing hey, if you can do it, I can do it. Tell us about, some of the amazing things that people have been saying about what am I good at?
Well, one of the amazing things that I hear, which was unexpected for me because my target audience wasn't really young people, but one of the things that blows my mind is that I hear parents say a lot that the book is so simple to read, it's so easy, that my teenager who is about to start college cannot put the book down because, and it's true, usually that age group a lot of times are not so sure what they're good at, they're not so sure, the path that they should take. And so I'm like, wow, that is so great because I really didn't think about them when I was writing the book. So that's an additional market that has opened up for this book. So I'm just grateful that this book has managed to just touch pretty much every life. Some of the things, the testimonials that I've had, I've had at least two people who have told me personally that they have started businesses as a result of reading this book. Yeah, this one young lady started going to doing her doctorate as a result of reading this book. So the testimonials have just been mind blowing, and that is why I'm having a conference coming up on July 11th, where I'm going to even delve further into this topic. I'm bringing in some of my expert friends in this area, and I'm just going to be sharing a lot more with people because I realize that there is a need, and I am so grateful that God would use me, would see it fit to use me to help in that area.
I love that. And you move from point A to point B to point C. And I know your book is basically a guide that is supposed to help persons transition into where they're supposed to be just the same. Can
Mhm.
you just give us a little, I don't want to say a little, a few tips on how persons can move themselves forward? And then, of course, that you can encourage them to get themselves a copy of the book.
Absolutely. So, one of the first things I feel like this is like the most important question that everybody needs to ask themselves. Before you start a business, before you s- spend those thousands to go to college or university, ask yourself, what am I good at? What am I good at? And in the book, what I do, I break down the different steps or the different strategies, if you will, on how to discover your gift. And I'll just share three quick ways that you could do that. One of the first question that you could ask yourself is, what comes so naturally to me that is probably more difficult for other people? Oftentimes, like I remember growing up, and people used to come to me all the time to help edit their resumes or edit their work, and to me it was not a big deal. I didn't really think that I was gifted in writing. But as I got older, I eventually became a journalist. So those things are clues. What are people always asking you help with? So that's one. Another question that you could ask yourself is, what could I do for the rest of my life if I never got paid for it? If I never receive a dollar for this thing, what could I do for the rest of my life? Because usually, if you should take an inventory of your life, what do you spend most of your time doing? What do you spend most of your time doing? That could give you a clue. Another thing that you could ask you could do is ask five close people to you, people who are trustworthy, because you don't want to ask people who you don't trust, or people who love you, people who are supportive of you, your close family, your close friends, your close co-workers. Ask them, what do you think that I'm good at? What do you see me doing? That's another way. So those are three quick strategies that you could use right now to find out what you're good at. And once you discover that thing that you're good at, you should start focusing your energy on that thing. Learn all that you can about that thing. Study, research, listen to podcasts, read books, become an expert in that thing. Become the person that everybody comes to. You should be do so well at that thing that nobody, anytime somebody needs that thing, they know exactly that who they need to come to for that thing. So that's what I would encourage persons to do. And of course, you want to go and get a copy of the book for more strategies. And you could find that at whatamigood@book.com. That's whatamigood@book.com.
Love it. So just to reiterate, you said ask yourself what you're good at. It's like a no-brainer for you, and it's something that people can identify as a real gift. Like if I think of people sewing something unique, I would say, "Oh, Nicole." If I think of somebody cooking the best stew peas or something, Nicole. I don't need to look anywhere else. So
Right.
yes, those are the two things. And then once you figure that out, you say, all right, then can I do this without getting paid? Can do I see myself going further in this? Then you would research and study and be the expert. So then
Exactly.
no matter what, they don't have to compare you with anybody else
No.
because you are the go-to.
Yeah.
You are
And you'll
the
never be broke, and that's how you're gonna create wealth and a legacy. And if we could look, you're in Jamaica, so we can use local examples. I mean, when I think about track and field and the best male athlete in the world, I mean, everybody knows the answer to that question. It's Usain Bolt. If I don't feel for dairy, and I feel for some Alaska, I feel for some powdered milk. I know who to go to, Mr. Chen, right? Mr. Chin. So, so that's what I mean. It's on that level
Yes,
that
yes.
we should strive to be. And of course, you don't get there overnight. I mean, I'm not there yet, but it's something that we should aspire to be. Aspire to be excellent in whatever we do. So, and and yes, it should take us a lifetime to be the best at what we do.
I know some persons might be saying, I don't have the time. I can't be bothered. I need to get it now. What do you say to those people?
Well, mediocrity never wins. You'll just be the average person. I mean, I don't know about that person, but I don't want to go through life average. I want to go through life being the best. I want to go through life being excellent because I model Jesus, and Jesus did everything in excellence. So if I'm his child and I'm modeling him, then everything I do also has to be in excellence.
I love that. And guys, you should see this woman's track record. It is something else. So I'm just gonna pause here to show you what the people are saying in the comments. So Kemar is saying good night. Leandra, yes, I know you're late, sis, but thank you for coming anyway. Share the live. What am I good at? Thank you. This is you. Awesome.
That's my husband saying awesome.
Blessings. Thank
Hi,
you,
babe.
Shanita. That is what me and my wife was talking about this morning.
Exactly, Kamar. Exactly. You got it.
Hold on, my mouse is Laney. And he said those exact words. Can I tell you? Like, this is God just
Oh,
yelling
so
at my heart.
that's
He's yelling. Great evening. Hi, Tasha Ray. He is yelling. So he says your presentation is on fire tonight.
thank you. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
everyone love this. So he's loving what you're saying. And I appreciate that because that's the same information I've been getting all week. Seems I should think about being a guidance counselor. See?
Yeah. And it's important too, because you know what, I mean, I don't know, I'm sure you have you ever been like in a supermarket or oh my god, when you go into a Jamaican restaurant and these people are so angry and you're wondering, why are you so angry? And it's because they hate their job, because that they feel empty, they feel unfulfilled, they know that's not what they should be doing. And sometimes at work you see people underperforming, they're miserable. It's for the same reason. They're not operating in their strengths. It's just like you take a fish out of the water and put him on land. What do you think is going to happen? So that's what happens to us when we don't do what God. Listen, every single person came on this earth to solve a particular problem. Every single person. You have a specific problem that God brought you here to solve. And one thing I know about God, Shanique, is that He's not going to give us a problem to solve without giving us the tools and the resources to get it done. That's one thing I know about Him. So I believe that nobody should leave this earth without knowing what they came here for, what their true purpose is, what their gift is. Because what's the point? What's the point to come here and just do some odd job, make some money, pay some bills, and then die? I believe deep down in my heart that there has to be more. And until we find that more, we're always going to feel that void and this emptiness. And I believe that we should seek God to find out what that is and use the tools and use the people and the resources that God has put to help you on that journey of self discovery.
And just to add, you said, unless you do that, you're going to live unfruitful and unfulfilled. And
Yeah.
I've been this saying since yesterday, I believe. Live full and die empty. You don't need to contribute to the wealth of the graveyard. As they say, the graveyard is one of the wealthiest places on earth. So
Mm-hmm.
many untapped potential is there. And
So many
we
untapped
make ourselves
potential.
angry and we think nothing of it when we're doing the average things every day. But it's actually us, our souls, I believe, getting frustrated with not fulfilling our purpose.
Yeah. And then there's this other group of people, Shanique. They know what their gifts are. They know exactly what their purpose is, but then they are afraid. They allow fear to hold them back. Fear of what others are going to think. Fear that they're not good enough. Fear that they don't have all the answer. Fear that they don't have it perfect. And so those people stay to I mean, it's the same because they are also not doing those things because they are being held back by those things. So those we address all of those issues in my book and tell you exactly how to overcome those challenges.
Love it. So, guys, you know that you don't leave here just like that. You're getting the information. This is an amazing start, and you don't want to be left not knowing where else to go. So, it's best you get it. What am I good at? That book will help you figure it out. So, Tashari is saying Leandra could consider be going for the guidance counseling, and Tashari is saying facts. And Lainey is sending applause. Definitely thinking about it. I am with you. So Tashari is agreeing with you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have to lose? There's nothing that you have to lose when you don't when you go after things that your heart desires. I mean, you will leave this earth knowing that you tried. I mean, one of the benefits of me being a nurse in the hospital for a couple of years is that some of the people who are dying, there are usually two things that they regret. And one of them is not spending enough quality time with their family and people who they love. And the second thing is they did not go after their dreams. And I believe that, and that, remember I told you that God doesn't waste anything. So even though nursing wasn't my passion, I still believe that He allowed me to be in that space because that was important for me to see that as well. And so I always remember those people, and I always know that when I lay down on that bed, if I get that opportunity to lay down and know that I'm dying, and I hope that I do, then I will feel satisfied. And I would have felt fulfilled that, you know what? I did it all. God, everything that you, because you know what would be bad for me, Shanique, is to go to heaven and God start sit me down and God start showing me all the great things that he gave me, and he's like, but daughter, why didn't you do this? I gave it to you. I set up the right people. I was just waiting on you to make that first step so that the other things can fall in place. And no, I don't want that. Mm-mm. I want it all. While I'm on earth, give it. I want all of my stuff right now, right now. So I'm gonna.
Right now,
I
take
want it now.
everything.
I want
Omar
it
says,
now.
never use money to drive you to live your purpose.
Absolutely, because the money will come. The money will come. When you're living in your purpose and doing what God called you to do, your money will come. And the thing about money, here's the thing about money. Even though money brings you freedom and it brings you happiness, I'm telling you, there's so much more to life than money. If money was the only thing, those multimillionaires and billionaires would not commit suicide. They commit suicide because of the void, the emptiness. I promise you, once you start tapping into your purpose and your calling and start using your gifts to the fullest, you're going to be filled. Even if you don't have money, you're going to be so content. Like Paul said, he is content in any situation you put him in. If he's broke, he's contented. If he's rich, he's contented. And there's nothing more powerful than going through this life with contentment and with peace.
Listen, that is a word right there. Tasha Ray said, don't come for me. So Tasha Ray's business is out here just like mine, and we just have to deal with it, sis.
I know what
Just
you
let it just let that sit in. I'm here to help others in whatever needs I can. Good night. Thank you for coming, Sister Florita. She's also doing nursing or caregiving.
Amen. And nursing is a beautiful, beautiful field. As a matter of fact, I still work as a nurse,
Wow. Okay.
but in a different capacity. So I own it's a nurse registry. It's like a home health agency. I own a couple of them. So what we do is we provide staffing. We staff people who are sick in their homes. We staff nurses and home health aides and certified nursing assistants in the homes. So I still use that to still do something else on an entrepreneurial level. So it is beautiful. And that's it about nursing. There's so many things that you could do with nursing. I still get asked to speak on health related topics. So you never lose your gifts. You never lose whatever you do. So it's only a win for you. Who say you can only do one thing? I always say master one thing. And I say in America, make your first million from that thing. But in Jamaica, I would have to say make your first 100 million because the dollar. And then you could do other things, you could do other things even on a passive basis. You don't have to limit yourself to a box. I know a lot of times people try to do that with especially or a race. When I look at Beyonce, she has restaurants, she dance, she sings, she's in movies. We don't have to limit ourselves to this box. But I
Mhm.
still maintain that we need to be excellent and be an expert first in one thing. Focus first on that thing before you start,
Doing
you
other.
know, spreading yourself too thin.
I get you. I
Especially when you're younger,
understand. And most of these people who are here tonight are young people. So, like you said earlier, they weren't your target audience, but they are the ones who feel most connected to your messaging.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm
I
so
don't.
happy to know that because I love, 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 love my young people.
Yes.
I was a youth leader for many years in the church. And no, actually, right now, my husband and I are children ministry leaders at our church.
Oh.
So we still deal with, you know, young, the young, somewhat.
See? That gift
Yeah.
is following you. So even though you tell yourself, okay, Nicole, I'm targeting this set of people, but then you have something for young people, so they're gonna keep coming to you. So here they are tonight.
And that's a blessing. That's a blessing.
I'm definitely doing the work now. Okay, Tasha is getting a whipping, and so am I. Use fear as a green light and go. Oh
Yeah,
my.
that is powerful. And here's the thing about fear. Here's the thing about fear. Like, fear, you're always probably going to feel afraid, but it's just a feeling. A lot of things that I do, I feel afraid, but I don't let that stop me. Most things I do them afraid. Afraid. Yesterday, day before yesterday, I was speaking on this stage with the number one motivational speaker in the world, Les Brown, and some other legends. And that broadcast, at least 10,000 people saw it. And right before I went on, I was feeling so afraid. I was like, oh my God, why did I say yes to this? I am crazy. And I didn't want to do it again. And I wish I didn't have to do it. And I was so afraid. But guess what? I went on that virtual stage and I did it afraid. And nobody knew that I was afraid. Only me. And so you're always going to feel afraid. A lot of times I go out, I speak, I'm a motivational speaker, and before I hit the stages, people would be like, oh my God, you were so powerful and confident, and it's a pity they don't know. Before I went up, I felt like I was going to die. I wanted to back out. Just a while ago, before I came on here, I wanted to back out. I felt nervous. I felt like it's raining. Why did I say yes? And so there's a bunch of stuff that's going to come to your brain, but you have to do it. You can't live your life dictated by feelings, because feelings are not reliable. You have to always have your goals written down, make your vision plain, know what your goals are, know what your mission is, know what you want to accomplish, and do the work to get there, regardless of, it's just like being in school, right? You're in school for CXCs. You go to school like every day. It doesn't matter if it's raining or if you don't feel like, or if, even when I never had lunch money, I used to sell ripe bananas on the side of the road in Mount Russell, close to Yorton, and I make sure that I'm at school. I didn't always feel like going, especially when I started going to high school, and then, the boys gonna pass me on the side of the road selling ripe bananas. I used to hide in the bushes and sell. I didn't feel like doing that no more. But I had to, because I have to go to school. My grandparents would not allow me not to. So it's the same mindset as we get older. We just got to do what we got to do, especially when you have children, or especially when you're thinking about your legacy, because it's not even just about you. It's about the generations behind you. It's about some of you. I don't know about you all, but I grew up in poverty, and I told myself poverty ends at me. My child will not know what poverty is. My child will only have to work with somebody else if he wants to work with somebody else. And it will be by his choice. But I will make sure that I am leaving a legacy for him, so that he doesn't have to come and start from scratch. And especially we as Black people, we're already a thousand steps behind just because of our skin color. I mean, you in Jamaica is probably not as bad, but outside, I mean, in other countries, so those are we have a lot that is already going against us, whether we want to accept it or believe it or not. It's the truth. And so when I came here, one of the things that I was told is that my accent was too strong. So I couldn't get a radio station or a TV station to hire me. And so I had to start my own radio station. And so we have to just be aggressive, do what we got to do.
Yeah.
That's it. Because guess what? The earth belongs to the Lord. And he said, when he left, he said, go and inhabit, take dominion. So why are we sitting back on the sidelines waiting on people to give us permission to be great? No, we are already great. Jesus owns cattle on 1,000 hills. This belongs to
Listen,
us. This belongs to us. Let's take it.
we're going to take it,
Let's
and
take
we're
it.
gonna take it to the 10 questions at this time. People, I'm going to ask you to forgive me. Me go beg on, please. I am asking you, please. As soon as we finish the live or whatever, you can just screenshot your comments and repost them on the page, or copy them and post them on the comments on the channel, because we're gonna have to go to the 10 questions, because I promise it's 30 minutes. If you no can't get enough, please to request part two. We can't do it. Okay. So all in favor for part two, say aye. And then if Nicole has the time, we will definitely make it happen for you. Okay? Please forgive me. I carried all of the comments. So Nicole, when if you have the time later tomorrow, whenever you're free to go back and watch the replay and
I
just
will.
respond if you can. Just
I
respond.
will.
All right. Okay. So let me just show you the persons who are um in favor of part two. All right. Give me a second. Okay. So I know you said you were nervous earlier. Um, but I'm still going to ask you the 10 questions.
No, I'm not nervous now. Once I'm start, I'm good.
So persons who want the part two, just continue to put part two um and we can get it. Okay, Miss Laney is requesting a part two. No problem. Are you ready for part two?
Yeah, but they can also get it at by registering for my conference in 2 weeks by going to
All right.
gifttowealthconference.com, and it's free actually. It's free and it's virtual.
I'm going to just send me that
I'll
information so
send
I
you the
can
link.
share it. Okay, good.
And the first 200 people who registers get a free tablet voucher. So
What?
just saying that.
What? Free tablet voucher. I'm just read my lips. Free tablet voucher. All
Just the
right.
first 200 though who
The
registers.
first 200 people to register get a free tablet voucher. Wonderful. So we're moving to the 10 questions with Nicole. I'm going to take the last 3 minutes because we're doing something different tonight, and my other guest is coming on at 8:30, and I need to eat something. All right, guys? Okay. So 10 questions with Nicole. Are you ready, madam?
Yes, let's do it.
Very easy questions. If you could be an actress, who would it be?
Halle Berry.
Oh, girl, you got taste. If you could be a fruit, what would it be?
Banana.
Hmm, I like that. Silence is my superpower. What is yours?
Talking.
Oh, powerful. That's how you get the message out, right? What's your favorite color?
Yellow.
Nice. Favorite self-care tip?
Facials.
Never done one, but
It's good.
people are selling me facials these days. Favorite hobby?
Exercising.
Nice. Do you have a favorite joke?
No.
All right. Favorite food or thing to cook?
I love ackee and saltfish.
Good girl, good girl, good girl. Do you sing?
Yes.
Can you sing? Can you sing something?
Yes.
Yeah, sing something short.
When I first saw you, I already knew.
Mm. Listen now, sure.
You said short. We have 3 minutes. You have another
I
guess.
was waiting. Oh my God. I love that song, by the way. My last and favorite question of them all is, mm, please give us your best African accent.
African? I can't speak like an African. African?
I don't watch African movies.
Long time ago.
You one word, one
Another model? I don't know.
word. What is that? What does that mean?
I don't know. from there. Move away from there.
Clap for her, guys. She did well tonight. Very
Oh my
versatile.
God, that was so much fun.
Yes, communication came out tonight. I see why you have that mass communication degree.
Oh, thank you so much, Shanique. It's my pleasure.
Versatility. You hear that, guys? Listen, she didn't even tell us half or quarter of the story tonight. So just register for the conference, and in the meantime, whenever that is done, we can prepare for part two. All
Oh,
right.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, all of the viewers tonight.
And thank you
Appreciate
for
you.
coming. I really appreciate you saying yes to doing this.
Of course.
Just tell us how we can get the book, and a little where we can find you on social media, and then we can
Yeah, so social media, you'll find me mostly on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. It's my name. So it's at Nicole Loiten. And the book is at What Am I Good At? Book.com. What Am I Good At? Book.com. And my conference, the free conference that's coming up July 11th, Sunday, which would be 12 p.m. your time. To register for that, go to gifttowealthconference.com. That's gifttowealthconference.com. First 200 gets a free tablet voucher. So looking forward to seeing you guys again, and looking forward to coming back for my part two.
yes. Thank you so much for coming. Look forward to seeing more of you even at that conference. Don't forget to send me the
Of
information
course, I
so I
will.
can share it. And all the best in all your endeavors. And thank you again for being with us tonight. Have a safe night and a productive rest of the week. And see you when we see you.
Thank you
Guys, thank
so
you
much,
all
Shanique.
for coming. And this has been Talk Truth Series, Real Talk, Real People Live. Don't go too far. We're coming back at 8:30 with our second guest for the evening. Have a great evening, y'all.
Bye.